What's up, NIO family? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the broader markets. I'm going to talk about a very important setup to watch for on NIO, what you should be watching for as time goes on. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below, or use my QR code right here to sign up. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 of free Nvidia stock. If you deposit $2,000 or more, you're going to get $50 worth of Nvidia plus a $100 cash reward. Deposits $10,000 or more to get $300 worth of Nvidia for free plus $100, or deposits $50,000 or more to get $1,000 of free Nvidia stock plus $100. You're also going to qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends very soon, in just about 2 days from now. So please check out my link down below to sign up. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the market and NIO. So, with all this very, very positive news coming out about how President Trump and his team are getting very closer to a trade deal with China, the markets are just continuing to rip higher, breaking all-time highs. Now, there are still two big gaps left to get filled towards the downside, and we haven't really come back down to fill them yet. But as of right now, we still remain more bullish as we're holding up on SPY and the QQQ. So there's no sign of us basically getting any sort of like pullback yet, and the market's ripping up higher towards all-time highs. And with this happening, this is really, having a big ripple effect on the markets. And all this positive talk involving the US and China is also benefiting NIO. When it comes to NIO, there's been a lot of talk about how there's been a forum that was themed as the AI application in smart EVs. It was hosted at the Chinese National Computer Congress 2025. This is some big news because we had some important individuals kind of like collaborating and speaking about not only the technologies but the smart driving. So that's some great news that's come out. And then on top of this, there was also some news that came out about how Mizuho is neutral on NIO, at least for now. And the price price ratio is kind of flattening. So that's kind of like flat for the time being, not really changing too much. However, NIO has also exceeded 90 million total battery swap services. This is once again a massive milestone. And I think that's a great piece of news so far. That is once again just showing how how successful their business has been at achieving this, and simultaneously how big it is for the future, because this is a legit strategy that's going to help drive more sales, right? The fact that they have battery swap services and they're just continuing to grow this model, that is great news for them. On top of this, when it comes to the news coming out for tomorrow, it's going to be Tuesday, October 28th. We just have the Richmond Fed manufacturing numbers coming out at 10 o'clock a.m. And besides that, there's not really much else that's coming out. I also want to add that when it comes to the Fed, odds of getting a cut, there's a 97.8% chance we get a 25 basis point cut for FOMC on Wednesday. So that's why the market's also holding up, alongside the fact that, the US and Chinese officials are once again setting the framework for President Trump and President Xi Jinping of China to finalize and sign a trade deal. This is massive news between the US and China, and part of why the market is pumping. And that could also delay President Trump's tariffs on China. The market likes this, especially as the US has lots of deals coming out involving more Asian countries. That's part of why we're pumping the way we are. Excuse me. And then for tomorrow, we also have SoFi and PayPal announcing earnings, alongside Meta, Microsoft, and Alphabet on Wednesday after close. And for Thursday, we have Amazon, Apple, and Coinbase. So what do I think is going to happen in the future? Well, when we look at the chart, it's quite evident we have a left shoulder ahead and a right shoulder. And so long as we don't lose major support, NIO will likely continue to reaccumulate. And we could be looking for an end of the year rally from now. I just don't really see a massive dump anymore since we've broken resistance and we're doing a great job at holding up. As long as NIO holds 6.58, we're going to likely continue to uptrend. And I think that it is still possible we come back down to fill this gap, but I still think we favor an attempt to fill this imbalance at 7.4. So we could bounce a bit. We're going to see if we come back down to fill this gap, but as time goes on, I do anticipate some upside for NIO off this inverse head and shoulders, and the odds do favor upside. Also, for SPY and the QQQ, it doesn't really make sense to be bearish because we just keep on breaking out. If we end up losing 682 on SPY, we could turn down, but as of right now, we're not even close. And we keep breaking higher, so we could continue to push for 686 plus. We're just looking more bullish. Same thing with the QQQ. We have not lost 624 or anything like that. We're still pushing for 630. We still look more bullish. The IWM looks more bullish overall. Nice green day. We're at the 250 mark. We're going to see if we continue to break out higher for like 252. As long as we don't lose 248, we're going to be favoring more upside, so we're looking quite good. ES is still breaking out to 6,900. We're going to see if that breaks. We're getting very close to that 7,000 target, so we're still looking more bullish. NQ looks more bullish, favoring 26,250. Bitcoin, once again, has support at 113,400, 112,300. Could dip towards these EMAs before it tries to bounce, so give this the time it needs. Tesla has a nice looking accumulation right here. It's going to be favoring an attempt for 460 again. It looks bullish as we're reaccumulating, and eventually we're going to be breaking out for 500 by the end of the year. Nvidia is looking more bullish. We're going to be favoring 192. There's a gap to fill. It would be very healthy if we come down to fill the gaps before we continue. But overall, 192 plus is likely coming. Apple's favoring the 270s, and the majority of stocks are still once again breaking out. Coinbase might dip to fill the gap at 355 before it tries to bounce again. Amazon's in the middle, depends on earnings. But we want to see if this could break past 230. There's a gap to fill back down towards 224, but it also depends on the news, FOMC, and how earnings go. It's still favoring 230. Meta, as long as we don't end up losing essentially 748, we're going to be favoring 752. Google looks more bullish, favoring the 270s, and Microsoft is also favoring more upside for 535 plus. So majority of stocks are looking bullish. The VIX is looking weaker as it's dipping. So in my opinion, I think the market overall is holding up quite well, and this is benefiting NIO, especially the deals with China. And I would not be surprised if NIO consolidates and eventually tries to push for 7.4 very soon. Overall, we're looking more bullish. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. This is your quick update for now, and I'll be back very soon tomorrow with another update. Until then, I wish you all nothing but the best, and peace out.